big welcome, guys, to the Love Lounge with Honey and Banana. Yes, you guessed right. Your very able host, Moe is here to have very, very interesting conversations that indeed revolve around, relationships, a healthy sex life, and yes, good old sex. But today's conversation is all about contraception. The conversations that in a sense should be had or should occur when we are sort of considering bringing contraceptions into our sex life. Now, my guest today is the perfect person to have this discussion with, because I feel like when we're talking about contraceptions, in most cases, we should really have these conversations more with women. Yeah. So my guest is Fisayo. I don't want to get your surname wrong, but she's a very, very, very talented filmmaker. And yes, we will be discussing Contra-Versations today. So I would like you to kickstart with what you did say off camera. What is the rule that you said?
I said I have a strict no pill rule.
Okay.
So it's no after pills, no birth control pills. Anything that I feel like would affect me, my body, psychologically, I'm not doing it when you can wear a condom. If you're asking for that, you're a selfish person.
Okay, that is true. And as I said, this argument always sort of comes from men that more often than women, men who you've gotten to a point where you guys are having sex and you want to take the condom off, or you want to now have sex so you can feel it, like they always claim. What's your take on that?
Okay, so I personally, I think when I'm trying to find the right word, as a woman, I'm 23, so common sense. I know that. I feel like you take certain risks when you know that you can handle certain consequences. I cannot be in the stage that I am and be listening. If you're not feeling it, then go out and go and wank. You will feel your hand. It's that simple, because STDs, that's one. Pregnancy, that's two. And personally, spiritual disease too.
Is that spiritual?
It's easy to translate when it's skin to skin. So I just feel like certain things should not be. And if you're fine with that, and that's calm, each person their own, but you need to also make sure that you're protecting yourself, because niggas will protect themselves.
Yes,
they will.
They will, but sometimes like the way these conversations are going these days is as if they don't really care for protection. They don't want it. They don't like that raincoats. Now, when in a relationship do you think is the perfect time to sort of actually start having a conversation about the need to use contraception, be it the pill, be it IUD, or the bar, patch. Or the patch? There's so many types. Because you specifically said no pill rule. I don't necessarily feel that is no contraception all in all, right? Exactly. So when do you think we should start having the conversation in when you guys are having this sexual relationship?
I think the moment you see somebody naked,
really,
you should start, because it's,
and at least that first one that you at least start with is condom. Then you can now move,
and then after that, especially if it's something that's consistent, or if it's someone that's whether it's someone that's consistent, whether it's not consistent. I think the moment the clothes are off, the titties are out, that conversation should be had.
Okay, so when it comes to these contraceptions, who do you think should be the one that actually has the full control when it comes to selecting these different contraceptions that we both mentioned?
Okay, well, I think it's like a two conversation that needs to be had. At the end of the day, the person that bears the most brunt should make the decision.
And that is?
The woman.
Thank you. What do you think about the male vasectomy?
I personally think it's the solution to all our problems.
Yeah, but a lot of men are very against it. They don't want to believe that it is irreversible. Like even before we just started this, this conversation, literally most of the men were saying, no, why? Even though we have said that it is irreversible, so, there's like this fear that, if I'm going to go under, that maybe it won't work properly again or something.
Will I say that ego thing? So men here cut or surgically cut something and they think that their penis will not stand again.
Yes.
That's the direct line their brain goes to. And in Nigeria, certain things are not taught. I remember, was it just 3 or something? Their sex education that they taught, they came with condom, some plastic IUD, and they showed us, and that was it. No specific conversation was had. So men here cut something in your penis and that's it. They just shut down. And at the end of the day, it's reversible. If you, especially for people that like to fuck around, like do it. At least you know that you're not spreading children everywhere.
Exactly.
You might be spreading STD, but you're not spreading children.
You're not spreading children. I agree. Now, even just as you said, I like the fact that you touched on how, like, whenever you did have the opportunity of having sex education, it wasn't enough. Do you feel that this should be a conversation that should be added to the curriculum? Like people should, like the teens, people in puberty should be more aware of contraception.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we're in Nigeria and certain conversations. I remember, so I did my NYC in a school, and I remember one 92 young girl, teen, came to meet me to ask, and I wanted to answer, but I thought about it. If I answer now, somebody's mother will come and hold my neck tomorrow that I've turned her daughter to a shell. I don't want. And
so what was her question?
Her question was about using condoms.
Okay.
So it was just very, is it true that if you don't use it and you pull out this? I say, I can't tell you to go ask your mommy because she can break your head. I personally, I gave the little tidbit, but I'm like, I don't know much because I can't fight. If somebody's mother come and beats me, she will beat me. And it's let's say unfair because it pushes young women into a world without protection.
Yes.
The reason,
I feel like, how they always say the knowledge is like the strength of pretty much anything. Like once you know,
you can't be taking it full of, because people say, you start hearing ridiculous things. If you jump, if you pee, you will not. So please, if you pee and
if you jump, if you
swim inside you to
wash,
swim.
If you go immediately wash. If you turn upside down with your leg,
that's your.
No, not this way.
It will swim. If you put like this, they say
if you lie down,
swim backwards.
One leg up, one leg down.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. And so when people are going in there, it's like you're going for a battle without an ammo. Anything sticks, anything flips, and that's why you have people getting pregnant, getting STDs in a country that shames reproductive health. If you're going to a reproductive, most people tend to hide it.
Yes.
I don't know if I can call.
Most people are even so bothered about, if I'm seen, what they'll be thinking.
What will people think? What will people say? And it puts. Not only does it make people vulnerable to anything, it increases the chances of people dying, because we've all heard all those secondary school stories that they'll say somebody used hanger or somebody somebody makes slime or something. And all this is because we are in a country where you can't just walk into a reproductive health and be like,
facility.
This is quite frankly, as a young person, if you enter a pharmacy, they will eye you. And
even
God
just
bless
to ask
you,
for
a pharmacy in your area.
They will eye you. Exactly. They most likely you do know the woman behind the counter.
Before you go and use it and come back, they've called your mother. So it's one of those things. And you tell Nigerians, what people hear is you want to sleep around. Quite frankly, if you have one partner and you're sticking with your partner might not be sticking with you.
Real talk.
So at the end of the day, I feel like people have to protect themselves. If I can't trust anybody with something that would affect me, I'm the one that will get pregnant. I'm the one that will catch an STD. I'm the one that will not be able to explain to my family where pregnancy came from.
I'm the one that will have to now carry baby,
pause my life.
Stop my life.
And this isn't to say that the burden is all on women. My thing is that don't be with selfish people, because if you're with a selfish person, that's when
you will really feel that burden.
Feel the burden that everything is on you. But if you're with somebody that is at the very least considerate, certain things will not be a struggle. You don't want to wear a condom. Why? It doesn't feel good. That's not
not
sensible.
True. And that's also another general misconception. A lot of people believe that because they probably just tried one type of condom, there are different types. There's some that are really like, they have.
There's some that have like little polka dots.
There's some that's got like extra lube inside. There's some that really like do feel like, the skin to skin that you are looking for. You can't get it in a condom.
There are types. Also, I find it funny that a lot of Nigerians don't like using lube. And like for condoms that are quote unquote dry, use it. Use lube. Use it. But a lot of people hear lube and they're like, oh no, I'm wet enough. Oh no, it doesn't mean okay. If I feel like for everything that can be brought up, there's a solution. It's dry, use lube. You are allergic, find another alternative. If we've gone past every option, then we start to look at the other options that start to make changes. Are you going for an after pill method? Are you checking your cycle?
Your cycle.
Are you getting... See, I have to say this is not even part of the question. That's birth patch. I've never met anybody in my life that used that thing and came back normal.
Really? Please tell me some of the side effects that can, come from these contraceptives.
For the birth patch, I know about 3 people that got on it. And like I said, none of them returned normal. It messes with your mental health.
Really?
Severely.
More, not even necessarily like the hormones. It's actually...
and that is true. Your mental health severely. You gain an awful lot of weight.
And most of these contraceptives, you do gain a lot of weight.
An awful lot. So there were people that got on it and they are, I'm talking erratic. I'm not talking mood swings. I'm talking, very erratic. And it only stopped when they stopped.
They got off it.
I know somebody that was bleeding every day until she took out the patch. Every single day. Gosh. She was on her period every single day.
And I could even share like a personal experience. I've noticed that when you take the post pill, if you take it maybe after your period, literally you then take it like once you take it, your period comes
back.
And I'm just like, another cycle? So, but the good thing with contraception is that there most likely will be the one that works for you. So it is very important to at least weigh all your options.
And also speak to people. Again, reproductive health is very hide my face and do it. But the reason why I've never been on the birth part, but the reason why I know I can't do it is
because you guys had those conversations. Yeah, and I feel like most of these conversations tend to happen more with women. Well, I guess men, which man is going to sit there and say, guy, make you try this condom, these are that skin to skin. Yeah, maybe try that one. I don't think.
And I think it should. Nobody will beat you.
But they should actually have those type of conversations.
They will not remove belt and flog you.
And maybe if you happen to have had a vasectomy, maybe share it. That's your guy that doesn't seem to be able to
stop spreading children.
Just spreading children
everywhere. So I do think men need to have more. I think somebody in pharmacy, somebody in anywhere, India, somebody needs to start bringing male pills.
Yes,
let them.
You mean to create them?
Yes, let them carry the crazy thing.
They have done a lot of research on this, and apparently most men say that no, even if they brought a pill, they will still not take it
because they are stupid.
Like what? My girl said because you're stupid.
What do you mean you wouldn't take it?
But it's interesting that, as you said, that burden is just placed on women. Now I feel like during this conversation you have mentioned that general idea of there being shame attached to having these conversations about contraception. That's why, in a sense, we actually did put together this podcast thanks to Honey and Banana. Honey and Banana is the perfect platform for you to pick up your phone and order, be it contraceptions, have conversations about pregnancy, and have conversations about sex, sexual health, how to get tested. Shout out to Honey and Banana. Big shout out to Honey and Banana. And just in case you don't know what the hotline is, it is 7790. So yes, you can have conversations like this with the perfect professional. And it is quite unfortunate that shame is attached to these conversations. What is your take on that? Do you feel that more can definitely be done so that talking about contraception should not be shameful?
At all. I think more can always be done in any situation, from the parents' angle, from the students. I won't say friends because that will be blind leading blind, but older siblings. Reproductive shame, I think, is very silly. You tell girls, don't talk about your period.
Yes.
If you're buying this thing, you hide it. Why? You're not buying gun.
Abby.
Like, it's not something that you should be like, nobody, like, oh, this is illegal, or this is not right. It's something that happens with your body. Fine, you want to buy a condom, buy it. Like, there's always that awkwardness when you want to go get condom and like you and the nigga are looking at each other, you go. You go. But why? Who's going to beat you? Or maybe certain people have people that will beat them, but it should not be.
It should not be.
It would clear a lot of issues ahead.
I agree.
Yes.
I like that you actually even touched on parents and, siblings. I feel like a lot can definitely be done there as well. You always have situations where people maybe won't necessarily share, or parents won't have the conversation about contraception, be it a boy child or a girl child. And then now pregnancy comes and it's like all the blame is on you, most especially the girl. But it's like, I never had these conversations. Maybe if I had this conversation with you, mom or dad, I would have been. Thank you.
So I feel like with Nigerian parents, I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing or an African thing. So you hear sex education, and the first thing they think is she's going to stand on the road
and she's going to start having
she's
sex
going to
back
start
to back.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry, Sariwagba, open. That is what they envision. But even when because at the end of the day, regardless of what your sexual habit is, you have to practice safe sex. And even if you're exclusive in one place, you still have to practice safe sex. But Nigerian parents, they hear condom, they say, oh, you want to go and sleep with everybody, you want to go and do this for everybody, it's not that serious. It's not that. And I do hope that the coming generation are better prepared, because to be honest, I don't blame them. Like, you give what you get, and you give what you have. You cannot give what you don't have. So I hope that like the next generation are more what's the word I'm looking for? They are more intentional about giving these trainings or giving these talks with their children. So it saves us generation to generation problems. And STIs are not funny.
STIs are not funny. What contraception would you say is literally the best?
Condom.
Yeah, me too. I think it's just
it's simple.
It's the best. Doesn't give any hormonal issues.
Nothing. Keeps away STIs.
Yeah.
Keeps away unwanted pregnancies. It's like it's very easy. And I'm looking for the word.
The sphere
of contraceptives. There's certain things that, like, I don't know how to put this. When like women need to be very careful, even with that, because certain people slip it off.
Oh, now see, that is a completely different conversation as well. But it is in this too. That whole idea where you, as a woman, you believe that you are this contraception.
You are,
but the person
your due diligence
that you are protecting yourself from is removing it deep in the moment,
which.
That is assault, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, it is. There's
that
a
is
specific
assault.
term for it. So I do think obviously it's not easy to be who and like still be, but it's always good to have it behind.
Just remember
behind.
But then again, people would also say, like, don't you not need to also be careful with who you are? Giving your body
another
to,
factor, because you need to know the person.
You should have known the person enough. But then again, can you ever really know someone enough? People are full of surprises all the time. And I like that we're even talking about people, because society also sometimes puts different sort of pressure. I would call it a sort of peer pressure, or as to which sort of contraception you should use. Like, you know, it's almost like, oh, I've been dating this guy for so many years, and then maybe I'm having a conversation with my friend, and I'm like, oh yes, yeah, you know, we're still using condoms, or well, we use condoms, and my friend's like, huh? What do you mean? How can you be using condoms? And that's how all of a sudden you realize that, like as we said, this contraception that has worked for you for so long, you now don't want to use it anymore. You now want to maybe do the whole pull out. That's also, a lot of people will say pulling out is a contraception. But this one now we rely, we put that reliance on the man now.
That's rough play. And not even that. Not only is that rough play, that's dangerous play, because pre-com can get you pregnant. People don't know this, but those little slips that come before the actual push can get you. The chances are not great, but if there's a chance, if there's will, there's way.
There are some sperm we're just very stubborn. They say no,
because sperm can hide. So I know that the lifespan for sperm is about 72 to 50 something hours. So you could. It can be pre-com from yesterday that just decided to start moving.
God,
which is why they tell you to take post pills within those within those
hours,
because it's rough. Pull where?
Pull where? Pull to who?
Pull to what?
And can you really trust this man? Can you really rely on this man? Like I feel like as a woman, because you are the one that will get pregnant, you are the one. Like I feel like most of these like contraceptions should be in, well, will I say in your hands, but you should be the one in a sense actually
leading the conversation.
Exactly.
Well. And like on the peer pressure thing you mentioned, so there's I don't know, it's Yoruba, so I'm gonna say it in Yoruba, and please, my Yoruba is a bit, but
please just help us to translate.
It says Olori Ki Olori Gborie, like let everybody hold their own head. So because couple A is not using a condom, you and couple A are not sharing destiny.
Exactly. You are not the same as couple A.
Exactly. Let everybody hold their own head. Bear their own son name.
I like that.
They say it's because when a child gets in trouble, that's why they give them name. If you get pregnant, it's your name.
Exactly.
It is Fesayo is, you know, say Fesayo's friends. Exactly. You say,
there was
Moe's friends told her that
she and now she is nope.
It's you and your God, you and your future. So always keep that in mind. Like, fine, people would have opinions, but you should be able to filter what works for you, and what doesn't,
because you are the one that is the most important in these conversations. Especially. All right. So, you know, like how we pretty much just spoke about, maybe you may be dating someone and he wants to not use a condom, and maybe you make the suggestion of vasectomy. And then for him, he's like, oh no, why? I don't need to do that. You just go on the pill. You like sort yourself out. Shasha. Just make sure that I don't want to hear, you know, baby. What about if you know that the IUD, post pill, all these contraceptions just don't work for you? Like they just affect you. How do we deal with that sort of conversation?
Okay, so the first thing, these are issues that I think a conversation with a considerate person would regularly fix. And if you're not with a considerate person, that's already a problem on its own. But I do think if your body is not necessarily the right place for trial and error, but there are vast research on these things, and you could see. And sometimes the thing with things like this is that you can see I'm looking for the word. There's a medical what? Oh yeah. For example, now if I search the patch story now, like I said, I knew people that now me and these people have like very similar body type, age range. So I could tell medically, that
it's most likely this could happen.
Chances. And then so you slim down your options. And at the end of the day, if you did not day. If it's not working for you, it's not working for you. It's not. There are certain things that you shouldn't have to bend and twist yourself to fit in. You, as a considerate human being, it's right that you at least check options. But if it didn't day, it didn't day. That's just it. And it comes back to what works for you. What works for you. If two people are paying a house rent and one person is paying more, that's the person that decides what happens in the house. If you're carrying most of the burden of the reproductive, you should be the one that have the final say.
I agree.
If that is an issue you're with, you can maybe not say you are with, should not say it's me that sends them to be single, but if that's the situation, chances are that you're with the wrong person and you're having sex with the wrong person. It's that, be selfish. Be very selfish when it comes to your reproductive health. Be very, very, very selfish.
And I want us to just sort of go back and even just talk about, you know, even how parents or family, how the family setup when it comes to having these contra-versations. How for the girl child, it's almost like you have no conversation at all.
If nobody touch you, you're pregnant.
Nobody brings any like, this is even whether it's condom or the birth control pills or whatnot. Like I got on birth control because I had PCOS, so that was the only reason why I was on the birth control pill for quite some time. And my mom, I remember one time my mom was literally like, "Don't let anybody know that you're on it because they automatically think that you're having sex." Do you understand? But then when you hear or listen to conversations about, you know, boys, maybe that they always come and say that yes, their father was the one who got them the first condoms. Why do you think that is the case? Obviously, it's based on society, but how can we turn things around? Do you really think that females should actually have these conversations with their parents? And like, yes, a parent should actually outrightly say, here is birth control, or here is a condom, my girl.
Yes, it should go without saying, but it still has to be said. Girls and what's the word? The most conversations women have, if they have it, is you start your period, they tell you what to use, don't do anything with man.
And that's it. And
case closed.
Back off. And
African parents are very awkward about sexual things. If you ever try talking about sex, even you can be 30-something, 40-something, 20-something, as long as
even if you're married, comes up on TV and I'm with my mom, that's when I say, okay, let me just go and
you start to, because it's not it's not a comfortable conversation they have, especially with their girls. Again, you cannot give what you don't have because that's what came down from them. But I do think that it's a conversation that needs to be had, and I'll explain it. It's easier to take control of a situation if you know it. So the first time I had a drink was my brother that gave me, and he told me, you sip it, I don't know who gets to this one. You sip it, you don't rush it, drink water, pee. And because of that was how I got introduced to it. I know how to hold myself in situations like that. So if you have these conversations, they are going out there prepared. You know, like mentally they know how to hold themselves. Their shield is there. And if they decide to not do it, that will be as a result of a personal decision, as opposed to had I known, or I did not. It's better to make a conscious choice, and you know that whatever thing is happening is as a result of your conscious choice that needs to happen because you were not aware.
Informed. True. Now, even just deeper into the topic, a lot of people have not necessarily accepted that even with contraception, you have to choose the right contraception based on your lifestyle. You know, if you're a forgetful lady, in all honesty, or like you're just busy, like you're on the go, you're up and down, you travel, you don't really, whatever reason, maybe the birth control pill that you have to take daily, at a certain time, fixed time every time. Maybe you can't keep up to that. So maybe what would work for you is the IUD, but then
if you're the type of person that doesn't like things getting inserted in there.
What about if you are also the type of person that maybe you're scared of injections, so you would know that obviously the injection wouldn't work for you. But what about even in situations where you sort of have to, this person is just being reckless, you know?
free fall.
We are just hoping that eventually they shall be shown the way. maybe somehow with platforms like this, they would be able to, make note of getting the right contraception from, like, Honey and Banana as the perfect brand, to use an example. What do you think should be done more so that at least we can sort of pull these people out fast so that they start doing things the right way?
I think this is one of the nice outlets. The more you talk about something, the less shameful it is. The more informed you are. If you're putting on your TV and they're talking about contraceptives, the more it doesn't seem foreign. So people are often, I wouldn't say scared, but when you don't know something or when you're not familiar with something, you often like to keep it at a distance. If pull out is what you know and what you are safe with, if
that works for you for the past 10 years,
for the past 10 years, why not
all the time?
Why not continue? But the more, if I put on my radio, they're talking about contraceptives. I put
so you
on
feel
my
like
TV,
media also plays a major role?
Very, I do think, because I'm going to use a phrase. So there's a time that Davido used to say Tule. Before he started saying it, nobody knew what that was. But when it was everywhere, it somehow seeps into your
you're right,
subconscious. And likewise with this, likewise with any other thing, the more it is out there, the more the media puts it out there, the more the family, the more shame is removed from it, the more it seems like something. We spoke about vasectomy and how men hear it and
they just feel that it is not reversible. Wait, it is irreversible. Yes, it is irreversible.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, that's not the truth, and
that's because it's not something that is always out there. So for those people, I feel like if the more they come across platforms like this, the more they come across outlets that give them more information, the closer the more comfortable they are. And if they know all this and they still choose to be,
and that's on them.
They can say we
can only hope
I will not eventually do this a prayer.
You will just see the lights.
No, there's a prayer for it. This is the last time.
I promise God. After this time, I will not do it again. If she doesn't fall pregnant this time, yes, if she doesn't fall pregnant, I promise I'll give my tithes.
Every girl that's sexually active probably knows that
say, I will not have sex again. Which never happens, even if a baby comes.
So it's just one of those things. You're either careful, you either are knowledgeable, or you just don't care. And if you just don't care, so each person their own. But hopefully, with time, you'll get there.
All right.
Hopefully, with not experience is not the teacher.
You're dropping some interesting phrases today.
What you mean?
I love it. Because that's also a thing. A lot of people think that experience, just because you've been having sex for so long, you think you know every aspect, even down to something like contraception, So I'm loving some of these phrases. I'm hoping that I can steal some from you. Thank you so much, Messiah, for coming on the show. It's been very, very enlightening. And as you said, more of these conversations need to happen, and the media needs to also play a major role. On that note, I am indeed signing out. Don't forget that if you have any questions, you want to have conversations like this, all you have to do is just call the Honey and Banana hotline, which is 7790. All right, till next time, take care of yourselves and most especially each other.